Let's start. Let's go live. All right, we're live. Okay. All right, everybody. You guys know who I am, so I'm not going to introduce me. But this is my homeboy, Chris Goodman. CG Ace 1 is his YouTube channel. He does the same type of content I do. However, he also does like horror stuff and whatnot. So I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video after I get done streaming. But go over to his YouTube channel, CG Ace 1. And he pretty much, today he did a ranking of all 22 MCU movies. That's more than what I'm going to do because I'm not going to take that kind of time. So all the respect to you on that one. Give me 1 second here and... Hold on a second. So we already got super chats in here, so I'm going to go to the super chats first. What is it? Jimster25. You guys have really hard names. 2 billion in 1 week. Holy hell. Yes, it was like 8 days. 8 days. 8 fucking days. It hasn't even been a full week. It's been, well, yeah, it has been a full week technically if you want to get technical. But 8 days, that's insane. I don't know if it's going to be Avatar, though.
No, I think it will now.
You do?
It's less than $1 billion away now. Less than $1 billion.
Yeah, it says 7. Well, Avatar is what?
It's only been 2 weeks. So yeah.
No, it's only been 1 week.
Well, yeah,
it's starting the second week. Avatar's at what? 2.7 or 2.8?
2.7.
So, but this is what I'm worried about, and maybe this is me just trying not to get my hopes up because I fucking hate Avatar and I hate James Cameron. Well, I like James Cameron's movies. I just don't like James Cameron. I'm afraid that everybody rushed out to go see it the first week or two, and then the next couple weeks it's just gonna die down. That's what I'm afraid of.
It's still gonna make that money because there's some people that could not get into the theaters, and stuff like that. There's people. I mean, my wife and my daughter wanted to see it. They still haven't seen it. I went and took my son, so I still want to see it again by taking them. So it's going to have some repeats.
Yeah.
Because people love the movie.
Which is funny because you make a lot of sense because I was at work yesterday and a guy that I work with, he saw it and we started talking. And as we were talking, a guy who works there walked by. He's like, "Don't say shit. I haven't seen it yet." I'm like, "Dude, it's been a week. If you haven't seen it yet, that's kind of your problem."
Well, I seen something on Facebook a couple of days ago about saying if you don't see it this weekend, you're going to probably get spoiled after this weekend because I had heard that the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is dropping on Monday.
Yeah, that shitty-ass trailer.
And it's supposed to have spoilers in that trailer.
Did you hear the rumor that their MJ is Nick Fury's daughter?
Yes,
I swear to God, I will throw something at the screen and walk out. I already did that with the first Homecoming. I literally, when she's like, "My friends call me MJ," I went, "Okay," got up. Left.
And just so you people know, he's not crazy. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan too, and I can't even stand this movie. It's hard for me to watch this movie. It's not as hard as trying to watch Spider-Man 3, but...
I actually disagree. I disagree. I was telling Adam the other day, I was like, I'd rather watch Spider-Man 3.
No, I can't. No.
At least it feels sort of like Spider-Man.
I'm sorry. When he's going down the street doing this little dance, no, fuck that shit. No. Now, I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
So do
I like Michael Keaton as the Vulture and everything. But I do also think that they are shoehorning a lot more villains in this movie. So that I'm worried about as well because you're going to have Mysterio. You're going to have...
Chameleon, I heard, too.
Chameleons in this movie. Then you're going to have, I think, Molten Man and Hydro Man are just like apparitions.
Yeah. That's what Mysterio kind of conjured up.
Yeah.
But, anyway... We'll get back to that. I'm pretty sure we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
W comes in with a super chat who writes, "I'm currently convinced that James Cameron is a MCU movie villain, and his break in his box office record will be the beginning of Phase 4. Possibly, man. Fucking James Cameron's a fucking dickhead. It would be so poetic that this motherfucker who criticizes every superhero... don't forget, it was just like a year ago, he was like, "Yeah, I just don't get the Avengers movies. It's like, they're all just guys running around." Get the fuck out of here, dude. I hate him so much.
He'll re-release Avatar.
That's what I said.
Right before Avatar 2 comes out.
Yep. I think if Endgame does beat it, that it's going to beat it just barely. Then next December, when Avatar 2 comes out, that November, he will release Avatar 1, and then he'll put it over. Now, I'm wondering, since Disney technically owns it now, will Disney allow that to happen?
That's a good question.
See, that's because
Disney does own it, and it's up to them if they want to re-release it.
Because James Cameron just can't say, well, I want to re-release it. Well, you don't technically own it. It's your movie, but you don't own it. So it's up to the studio if they want to fork out the money in order to re-release that god-awful piece of shit.
Shady shit like that, though.
Oh, he would. And I wouldn't surprise me one bit. I wish Kevin Feige would be like, that's fine, we'll re-release Endgame.
No, I can see them re-releasing Endgame and Infinity War as a double feature together.
Yes, I would love that. I would.
Or you just sit there and watch the entire, go right into the second one.
Like 5.5 hours, man. Just like no breaks, no nothing. Just right into 5.5 hours. Because if you watch Endgame, the first hour of that movie feels like a direct continuation to Infinity War. It's like it seamlessly just goes right into it. I told everybody that I think Endgame feels like 3 movies. It's like you got the sequel to Infinity War, then you got the time travel movie, then you got like the Lord of the Rings type, with the big war and shit like that.
Now, yeah, because you've watched it 4 times now.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once still. I remember it was a great movie, don't get me wrong, but I was not into it as much that first time because of, I think you got to watch. It is, like you said, better the more you view it.
DC Big Oso, yeah, hold on, buddy. I'm gonna get to you in a second, you crazy bastard. I'm sitting there pointing my camera, but my camera's here today.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, but no, you're right, because when me and Adam left the first screening we seen, we were out, and Adam was like, "Which one did you prefer, Infinity War or Endgame?" And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to go with Infinity War, because like the fat Thor bothered me a little bit. It just felt distracting. But then the second time when I seen it, and I knew what was coming, I was able to take in more, so I was able to kind of appreciate it more. Like at the end with the fight scene, you get to see everybody who's in there. Like Howard the Duck's in there.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Korg and Meek is in there. Howard the Duck comes out with a Tommy gun. It's hilarious, dude. It's fucking hilarious. But you're able to absorb more the second time because you know it's coming. Okay, so DC writes, Snyder cut who? $2 billion is an effing big deal. Hey, man, look. You know how I feel about Warner Brothers. Look, Justice League could have cracked $1 billion. It could have cracked $1 billion if you didn't have fucking stupid ass people over there in the CEO position. It's actually confirmed that they rushed out the movie just so they can get the bonuses at the end of the year. So, yeah. I never got your opinion on Justice League. What do you think about Justice League?
It's a fucking hot mess.
It is.
I never watched it in theaters, thank God. I didn't go to the theater to see it. I finally did watch it when it came down on Blu-ray, and it was just, it's a mess. I can't even sit and watch it. It's just that distracting.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, it's hard for me to watch any of the DC movies. I'm not even that big of a fan of the Wonder Woman. I like it. It's still a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's a great movie. But it's just not one of those movies. To me, a movie is really good if I can go back and watch it multiple times.
Yeah.
And I just cannot. I can't do that with Wonder Woman. I own it.
I love Wonder Woman is my favorite in the DCEU.
Aquaman I've seen a few times. So Aquaman I probably would say was my favorite. I did like Suicide Squad when I first seen it. And I liked it, because I liked Harley. But after watching it now a few times, I can't stand watching it because I see all the problems with it.
I'm the same way. So Suicide Squad I've seen a couple times in theaters. I liked it a lot in theaters, but just like you, I recently rewatched it maybe 5 months ago, and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Exactly. I can't even get past Harley
So I found myself like fast forwarding to like the parts where Jai Courtney grabs stuff and leaves, and like my favorite parts, I was fast forwarding to that. Aquaman, I hated the first time I seen it. Then I went and saw the second time with a girl I was hanging around with. And then I don't know what happened, but I just loved it. Liked it so much. It was like I saw it for the first time.
I like Black Manta, so therefore I like everything.
I like Black Manta too, and the movie still has problems, but I think it's a step in the right direction. Hold on, Swiggity Swag. I'll get to your question in 1 second. Shazam. I did not like Shazam at all.
No, my son really wanted to see Shazam, and so I just took him. Because my daughter didn't want to see it or anything like that. So we went and watched Shazam, and I'm going to tell you straight out, I was just bored with that movie. I was not a big fan of it. I mean, it was all right, but I agree with some of what you've said in some of your videos, where he is smarter and more mature as a kid than he is when he is at Shazam. Like you said, why is he sitting here doing that stupid
Are you familiar with the character in the comics?
No. The only time I've ever seen Shazam was from Injustice games. So,
hey, that counts. But yeah, because I don't know if you see my review. Me and Adam almost got into a fist fight in the middle of that.
Oh yeah, because he liked it, right?
He loved it, and he kept comparing it to Captain Marvel for some reason, which has nothing to do with Captain Marvel. And he's like, "Well, I like this more than Captain Marvel." And I'm like, "Well, Captain Marvel at least was connected, so." It connected the universe. Shazam didn't connect shit.
Oh, you had a cameo.
Yeah, it wasn't even real. It wasn't even really Henry Cavill, and Shazam character ended up being not even the main character in his own goddamn movie because the whole damn family turned to, which does happen in the comics. But
I like Mark Strong as an actor.
So do I.
But I felt that villain was so weak and boring.
Yes.
I loved him more Sinestro and Green Lantern.
Yes, I agree with you.
He did a great job as Sinestro.
We fucking talking about Green Lantern has something better than Shazam.
That's the only good part about Green Lantern.
Yeah, very true.
That and Blake Lively.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Okay, Swiggity Swag writes in. Thank you, Sean, for the super chat, buddy. Swiggity Swag writes in, did you hear in Russia they censored the therapy scene, Captain America taking to one of the Russo brothers because of the gay character? Man, dude, they're Russians. They don't count. I mean, Rocky beat them in the Cold War, so it doesn't even matter. Look, hey, I mean, each country has their own shit. I mean, China doesn't allow rated R movies there. That's one reason why they did the PG-13 Deadpool, and reason why Venom ended up being PG-13. But to be honest with you, Venom should have just been blown up anyway. God, I hate that fucking movie. People
can't watch that.
And people act. I still don't own it. Usually, I
have it. I bought it the day it came out. Because I watched it all, in the movie. And
fucking Alex wrote. Just League was great. No, it wasn't.
But Venom, it's so hard. Because I'm a big fan of Venom. I have all the original appearances and all that.
Same here.
And that was a very letdown. I've always said you can't have a Venom movie
without Spider-Man. You can't. His origin is tied too close to Spider-Man. It's impossible. Yeah. And there's actually crazy fucking people watching right now. It's like, I fucking love Venom. Well, I'm telling you guys,
the parts I like. It was a better Venom than what I got in Spider-Man 3. So you disagree. You disagree, but I think he's a better. It was a better look.
Okay,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look, and everything, and it was counter true on that to the character as far as how he was talking.
Yeah,
and all
the
that
look.
Kind of stuff. But the overall movie was garbage.
Yeah.
And I rewatched it once when I bought the DVD, right? Or Blu-ray, whatever. And a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I'm bored. Let me watch something. I tried putting it on there. I made it 5 minutes in, and I was like, nope, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I still...
It takes a few times.
I still haven't... Even if... I own Ghost Rider 2. I still don't own Venom. That's how much I dislike Venom. What is it? Daniel... It's either Daniel Angel or Danielle Angel. I don't know. I'm illiterate, guys.
Daniel Angel.
Writes, at Robert Storms, revisit Avengers Endgame trailer where Thor walks up to Captain Marvel. You can hear her say in a whisper, I have... whatever.
Telepathy.
Yeah. It's true. No, I haven't seen that. Like, what do you got? Like fucking Turtle Beach headphones on? You're like, I can't hear. Nah. Well, you might be right. I'll go back and rewatch the trailer, and then I will put on the caption. But
that reminds me of that whole thing where it was back in the classic Star Trek, where Sulu told the one guy on the way
I'm gay. I'm gay.
Yeah.
It's like, Johnny, I'm gay.
That's what that reminds me of right there.
So back to I want to go back to Venom for a second, just for a second. I agree with you, 100% that the visuals and everything was much better, but I think Topher Grace at least played the character right, like you know. Sort of.
Hating Spider-Man,
yeah. Hey,
but there was no Spider-Man in that movie.
I didn't see Topher Grace jump into a fucking lobster tank. And there was a lot of shit going on in Spider-Man 3. They didn't jump into no damn lobster tank.
Okay. But we all know that there's issues with Spider-Man 3 too. You know, him walking Topher Grace, but Tobey Maguire walking down the street dancing away.
Yeah, they made fun of that in Spider-Verse, so everything's good with the world. So yeah, just Venom. I hate that movie. And the sad thing is, like, I'm so tempted to buy it because the 4K cover looks so awesome. It's got, you know, the face with the tongue sticking out. I was like, that looks awesome. I don't want to buy it though. Like, I don't. Maybe Black Friday, if it's like on sale, I'll pick it up. But
that's when you'll pick it up, because usually that's when you pick up a lot of those movies that are total shit.
Yeah.
When you can buy them for $2.
I got like Beautiful Creatures out there. I still sealed. I bought it for like $2. That's how I got Ant-Man and the Wasp this year, because I didn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought it was a big step down from the first one.
I like certain parts about it, but if you check out my cinematic ranking, I give a brief description of why it's so low on my list on that one.
Besides the end credit scene, the movie just kind of fell. Yeah, you know.
I like Ghost.
I like Ghost too, but they really didn't do much with her.
Exactly, but that's bad.
And it's. I don't care about gender bending, and you guys know I much prefer female actors than male actors, but like they completely just took the Ghost character and kind of fucked it over. But anyway, that's neither here nor here. A knuckle for your buck. What?
Knuckle if you buck boy.
Buck boy, okay. You keep doing what you're doing. You heard the story about the Love You 3000. Yes, I heard. Why does everybody cry at that part? Like, Adam was sitting next to me. Adam was about as close as Chris is right now. And I thought this motherfucker was gonna, like, die of crying. He was like, I'm like, dude, Adam, stop being extra. It's not that serious, man.
You don't have kids.
I don't want no kids either.
Yeah, so therefore.
But like.
For me, you know, yeah, I teared up a little bit at that scene.
I mean, I teared up.
Father saying goodbye to his daughter.
Yeah, I mean, I teared up. But like I wasn't like Adam, where I was like, no, like if I was a 5-year-old and I told my dad I love him 3000, he would slap me. He was like, motherfucker, you say that again. But yeah, it's like going around everywhere. People's like, I love you 3000. Like that's all you see on Facebook. I love you 3000. I love you 3000.
But that's going a little bit too far. But I understood it for the movie and everything, as far as, you know, he was telling his daughter.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually going to say something that's not going to be popular, which I normally do all the time anyway. I did not like the girl they got to play his daughter. She could not act for shit. Well, like her dad just died, okay? And he's like, you want some cheeseburgers? She's like, yeah. He's like, your dad likes cheeseburgers. Oh, yeah? I was like, your dad just died. Like, try to be a little bit sad. The little girl they got in Ant-Man, that girl can act. I like that little girl.
Yeah.
They Russo brothers.
And now they ruined that because they made her now 5
years old. Yeah. She was to me, she was the best part of Ant-Man and the Wasp. When he's like, you know, I can be your partner.
Just like I've heard people talking about, oh, that kid from Iron Man 3 is going to be the next Iron Man because he's old enough now. He's a teenager. I'm like, that's not going to happen.
I'll fucking blow my brains out right now.
That's not going to happen. I got a feeling that they're going to go any direction of bringing like an Iron Man back into a movie. They're going to go with Ironheart.
Yes.
And they're going to put basically, I can see them doing Tony as AI.
Yep.
And everything, and he sees this potential in this girl.
Yep.
And then brings her in and shows her how to do what she's going to,
yep.
You know, to become that.
But the thing I'm wondering on that with the Ironheart thing is how they gonna do that is like because we know that Tony has like the institute that Peter was in and whatnot, right? And we saw in Civil War where he funded everybody's projects and whatnot. So they're either gonna do like he already knew Riri and then like build the mantle, or they're gonna introduce her in another movie and then build.
Which I actually want to discuss with you on this one. So we got an idea what movies are coming.
Yeah, we got a vague idea.
Vague idea. Do you think Black Widow movie should be the starting point for Phase 4? I don't think so.
After seeing Endgame, I personally don't want a Black Widow movie. If she would have survived, I wanted it.
Yeah. But the thing is, and that would have been great because that would have been a great start-off movie as far as that. So unless if it's a prequel, why would you want that to start your Phase 4?
Well, I don't remember if I was talking about this last night or maybe I was just talking to someone at work about it. But what happens if the start of Phase 4 takes place in between the 5-year period? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So maybe the Black Widow movie
that would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make it would make sense. Okay. So
for the Black Widow movie.
Understand now.
So instead of it being a prequel to like her origin, it's actually takes place in the middle of Endgame during that 5-year period, and maybe she trains somebody new because there is a rumor she's supposed to be training that one girl from one of the Netflix shows, and maybe she'll end up taking the role of Black Widow.
Yeah, I had thought about that.
I seen that movie 4 fucking times, and the Black Widow thing kills me each and every time. It kills me way more than the Tony Stark thing. I mean, I love Tony Stark, but the chemistry between Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner is, God, it just gets me.
Yeah, I didn't think about the whole in between the 5 years of putting Black Widow in there. I just thought, I was like, if they're doing a prequel, why would you want that starting off your Phase 4? I could see more your starting point being like Black Panther 2. That would be a great starting point, especially after they dropped Namor.
They alluded to him.
Yes, they alluded to him. That would be a great starting. Just put that in there first next summer,
Yeah.
Then do like the Eternals.
Yes.
Right after that, and because you put that in like November or something like that, it has room to grow, kind of like Aquaman. And some of these.
I forgot who I was talking to, but officially, as of right now, there's no Marvel movies next year.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, think about it. There's not one Marvel movie filming right now.
I know there's getting ready
Black
to start.
Widow's in production.
I know they're getting ready to start. No, I'm sorry. And that's next year when they start filming Guardians 3.
Yeah, once he gets done with Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he's on Suicide Squad.
But like, there's always been at least 2 to 3 MCU movies every year, and the movie needs to at least be filming a year ahead of time. And now, unless they're keeping it like really quiet because of Endgame, we have nothing on any.
They said that they're going to announce it after Far From Home.
Yeah,
that right now is the rumor and what I've heard. They're going to announce it right after Far From Home.
And I hope that's not true. I hope it's not true that there's no movies next year, because with Endgame hitting $2 billion now and the possibility that it might be Avatar, you need to strike when the iron's hot. That's why Captain Marvel made so much money, not because everybody's a Captain Marvel fan. Wonder Woman is much more recognizable than Captain Marvel, but because of Infinity War with the end credit scene, everybody wanted to go see it. And then when Endgame came out, everybody went back to see Captain Marvel. That's why it jumped up to number 2 again. So they taking a year off is not a good idea. They need to keep at it.
Keep at it while it's hot, yeah.
Out of all the possible movies besides Black Panther, because what I think could happen with Namor, I'm really interested in Doctor Strange. I like the Doctor Strange movie. I only seen it like maybe 3 times, but I'm because I loved him in Infinity War, and I want to see what he can do now.
I liked him in Infinity War. I wasn't a big fan of the movie Doctor Strange.
A lot of people wasn't.
I watched it. This is actually one of the movies I've only watched one damn time.
Really?
Yes, I've only watched
it. It's one of the rare MCU movies I only seen once in theaters. As much as I hate Homecoming, I've seen Homecoming twice.
I never watched that one in theaters.
Oh.
And now it's another, that's probably also the reason why.
It was great in theaters with that freaking special effects and shit.
Inception type shit.
Yeah, that shit was insane.
But that also might be the same reason why I'm not maybe a big... I know the reason why I'm not a big fan of Thor Ragnarok, but
I love that movie. I watched it again last night.
I don't know if I have to rewatch it. I think is what it is. I just need to rewatch it, especially after now I'm watching Infinity War and Endgame, because when I watched it, I just wasn't happy with the direction they went with it.
Oh, I thought.
But then again, when I watch Dark World now, I'm like, really?
Dark World just blah. I love the way Taika Waititi took that franchise. It had like the retro 80s look, and then it had like the comedy, and it was just I loved the way it went. And it was a really dark movie because Thor loses like everybody in that goddamn movie. And did anybody notice? I'm just curious if anybody noticed that in Endgame, Asgard is right where Odin died. The new Asgard. Remember when Odin died on that cliff in Iceland or Greenland or whatever? And he's like, this could be Asgard. And then in Endgame, there's Asgard right there. So I thought that was cool.
They say Avatar 2 will only make Jurassic World or Avengers numbers at best.
I have a feeling Avatar 2 is not going to bomb, but it's going to bomb compared to Avatar 1.
Yeah.
Because... I'm sorry, I didn't like that movie. I think it's okay at best. It's Ferngully.
It's great visually.
Yeah.
It is great visually, but I just wasn't... I'm not a big fan of it either.
I didn't see any... Besides the visual effects, like you mentioned, that movie didn't do anything new. You know?
It was great for 3D at the time.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I made a video last year on this, about him talking about doing a new type 3D for this Avatar 2. So basically, Avatar 2, if it makes that type of money, it's going to be because of probably a gimmick like that.
Yep. Swiggity Swag comes in with a super chat. You're going to do all the ranking of all 22 movies? I would love to see that. No, I'm probably not going to do that, but you know who did it? He did it. You guys can go over and check out his channel right now. Just type in CGAce1. That's CGACE1. Go to his YouTube channel. He uploaded his ranking today. Look, I might do it if I get bored, but that's a lot of time to do.
Keep in mind it's brief because I wanted to keep the video, not so long so that, because the longer the video, the less you guys will want to watch it.
Yeah.
If you want to know why I did one certain positions, just comment below. I'll answer them. I'll let you know if you want me to do a separate video review of it, why I personally did not dislike it, or why I did not like it, or why I did like it. Just leave it. Let me know, guys.
And also, I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description box after the live stream so you guys can go check it out.
Yeah, another super chat. Black Widow retrieved like Gamora. Cap sees Vermeer. Red Skull at Vermeer.
Yeah, I think they meant revive, not retrieve like Gamora. Black Widow revived like Gamora. Cap sees Black Widow. So I had a couple questions about this, and I don't know if you heard this, but okay. So first of all, Gamora is not revived. It's a different Gamora from a different timeline. So I'm wondering, when Cap goes back and brings back the Soul Stone, one, I would love to see the interaction between him and Red Skull. I'm like, what the fuck you doing here? Yeah, but I wonder if he returns it if the other person comes back to life. Because they never
explain that.
Yeah.
No. Because, I could...
Because you're taking it for a selfish reason. That's why you got to give up something you love. But if you bring it back, do you then get your loved one back? I'm kind of curious. That's why Gamora can never come back, because that Thanos destroyed those Infinity Stones.
He eventually did, but
yeah.
It makes you wonder, could he have went to Vermeer and brought her back?
Probably could if he wanted to, if he wasn't a fucking dickhead. Hey, Lee Smith, I'll get to you in 1 second, my friend. But also, I wanted to bring this up. Like, I don't know if you heard it. So there was a lot of people talking about plot holes in the movie. Like, because, did you hear, like, because Bruce Banner explained if you go in the past, you change something.
Thing.
Yeah. Well, the Russo brothers came out in an interview, and they asked them, they're like, so how did Cap show up in present time? And they're like, that's not present time.
I think it's going to be kind of like how you stated in another live discussion before about they're going to bring it back. They left it open where Chris Evans can come back and do a Cap movie where he's returning the stones, or also Secret Wars, Secret Invasion. They got all these different types of things that they can do. And especially with him coming back to that time, to that reality, I mean.
Yeah, that reality.
That timeline, that will play into that, I think.
Because wouldn't it be some shit? Because when they did the Old Man Cap in the comic books, he stayed around as Old Man Cap for a while before they brought him younger again. Wouldn't it be some shit if, like, maybe Phase 5 or something, Old Man Cap dies and he turns into a Skrull? And we find out that when Cap brought the stones back, he got kidnapped by the Skrulls. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I think they can do, and I think that what the Russo brothers did was leave that door open.
Yeah.
For different story, like they said, different story to be told a different day.
Yeah, because they said they would come back and do Secret Wars, and that would be like awesome, but that would be huger than Infinity War and Endgame with that scope. Lee Smith comes in with a super chat. I want to see a Black Cat in a Spider-Man movie. I want to see a good fucking Spider-Man movie.
We sure so you gonna get it with Far From Home?
Yeah.
I'm hoping, but
they fucked up Betty Brant. They fucked up MJ. They fucked up Genki and Ned Leeds at the same. How the fuck do you fuck up two characters at the same time? So Flash Thompson, they fucked up Flash Thompson. How is Flash Thompson gonna make fun of Peter for being a geek when he's a fucking geek too? It doesn't even make no goddamn sense. At least if he's a jock, it makes sense. And God, I fucking hate that movie.
Again, this isn't our Spider-Man.
That's true.
This is the ultimate Disney Spider-Man.
But it pisses me off when people.
If you watch that cartoon, that is what we got.
And I hate that fucking cartoon. I want to fucking throw rocks at that cartoon.
I mean, next thing you know, they're gonna have Harry Osborn as Venom.
Well, it can't be worse than fucking Venom the movie. But yeah. So I don't want Felicia Hardy anywhere near the Homecoming universe, and it pisses me off when people like this on Amazing Spider-Man 2, but they love Spider-Man Homecoming. And I'm sitting there thinking, do you guys know anything about the comics, like, at all? Yes, Electro's a little corny, but the movie's really good. And I really loved Green Goblin in that movie. Not as good as William Dafoe, but better than New Goblin.
Yeah, but Spider-Man 1's a classic. But yet, you watch it now, it is very campy and corny. I mean, Willem Dafoe, he's a great actor, but he is campy and corny. Yeah, it is. It's written that way.
It's almost like the 66 Batman.
Or like somebody said, that's like a 90s Spider-Man. Because it was released so close to it. But the Goblin that's in Amazing Spider-Man, he was transformed. Yeah. And it looks like type of Goblin. So, that's the reason why I agree with you on that. I like that. I'm a big fan of the Death of Gwen Stacy storyline. I got those books. I remember my dad telling me about them and everything.
Hey, London Gate, you can suck my dick.
So therefore, I love that movie as well, just like you do, and it is my favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah, it still is. I still rewatch it at least once or twice a year. Julio Rodriguez writes in, I think Amazing Spider-Man movies were more like the Ultimate Spider-Man. Okay, what Chris means by Ultimate Spider-Man with Homecoming and Far From Home is he's talking about the cartoon.
Disney cartoon.
Yeah, because the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon is much different than the Ultimate Spider-Man comic books. The Amazing Spider-Man movies were based on a lot of Bendis' comics, especially with the death of Uncle Ben and so on. But they did a good job mixing the lore of Amazing Spider-Man with like the Steve Ditko lizard, which I didn't like that design, but with the death of Gwen Stacy and stuff like that. And they mixed it well with Peter from the Ultimate comics, where he's talking about Homecoming is the Ultimate cartoons, which is ultimately a piece of shit. So it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure your kid likes it, but I mean, he didn't grow up with Spider-Man like we did. No?
No. He didn't watch it.
But thank you, Julio, for that super chat, my friend. But yeah, just fucking Far From Home.
Somebody agrees with you. Spider-Man 2 was trash. the first Spider-Man 2. Right?
Yeah, well, a couple years ago, I rewatched all the Spider-Man. Everybody talks about Spider-Man 2 being the best Spider-Man of all time. That movie wasn't really all that great.
It was good. It was good for its time.
But it doesn't make any sense, though.
It's better.
And the reason why I'm saying that, right, Doc Ock goes to a bank and robs money to buy parts. Why doesn't he just rob and steal the parts? You know what I mean? 'Cause that's where the corny cheesiness comes from. Yes. You know?
But all three of those movies are that way. I mean, all three of
them.
Yeah. But, you know, when that was our first iteration of Spider-Man on the screen. So, like the first one, it still holds a good place, you know, in me because, granted, it can't be corny. Yeah. But I got to watch Spider-Man on the live screen. Yeah. So, I loved it. Same with the second one. Second movie, I think, is a better movie than the first one. but I like the first one more only because of the fact of it's just like the Avengers movie.
Yeah, yeah.
When you first see all of them on the screen together for the first time, it makes it something special.
Yeah.
Compared to like Age of Ultron, it wasn't as special then because you've already done seen it.
Seen it, and doesn't help that Ultron wasn't all that great of a movie, but. No. I recently rewatched it, and it's not bad. I mean, it introduces my girl Scarlet Witch in it, but I didn't like the music because they didn't get the same composer, and it was just But I think the problem I have with Spider-Man 2 was they were set up so good with Harry taking over the Green Goblin mantle, and then they completely just botched it in the next movie.
We don't talk about the third one.
Only when we compare it to Venom.
And the fact that the fourth one that they were going to have was going to be just as bad.
The Vulturess?
The Vulturess.
Yeah. Going to have... Wasn't it rumored like Anne Hathaway was going to play the Vulturess? It was going to be Felicia Hardy or some shit?
Yes. That it was going to be the Black Cat character playing Vulturess.
Oh, fucking kill me now, man. Kill me now. Just... Yeah, I'm glad. The only time Sony had enough brains to be like, no, we're not doing this. We're done.
Spider-Man comments. All over the place.
Yeah, this one dude wrote, Amy Pascal is gone from Sony. The best fucking thing ever.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because
I actually totally agree with you on, I think it was your live discussion 2 days ago or whenever, that why with the fucking villains? The fucking Spider-Man villains. Why?
Yes.
You do have great properties with like Spider-Gwen and Silk and all these other characters. Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Or even the fact that I would have loved to seen them do something like that with like
Ben Reilly?
With Ben Reilly, but like for like when Venom was coming out. You had Andrew Garfield, you could have brought back for that.
That's what I'm saying.
And had it part of that universe.
That's what I'm saying. If anything else, Into the Spider-Verse proved you can have multiple Spider-Man and it won't confuse people. Right? You have Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield loved playing Spider-Man. Right? It wasn't like Tobey Maguire where Tobey Maguire and everybody was pretty much, they just didn't want to do it anymore. Andrew Garfield loved doing it. You could bring him back for 5-10 minutes,
That's all you
need. You could set it up where maybe he's not doing so well after Gwen's death and he gets a symbiote suit or something, and you could have done something. Like, I don't understand why studios, I'm looking at you fucking Warner Brothers, are so horny on villain movies. It's like, we're going to do Kraven and Morbius. Who the fuck wants a Morbius movie? With fucking Jared Leto. Fuck that. That guy's Joker sucked. And then you got fucking DC coming out with 500 goddamn Joker movies. All right, let me get to these super chats.
You got 2 super chats. Right?
All right, Swiggity Swag writes, is that a greater sign or less?
Age of Ultron beats Avengers.
I disagree. There's parts in Age of Ultron I would agree. Like when Jeremy Renner has a speech with Scarlet Witch, like, look, there's shit going on out here. I'm just a guy with a bow and arrow. Like, you can either stay in here or go out there and fight.
I actually like James Spader voicing Ultron.
So did I.
I actually liked Ultron. I like the fact that each character actually had a fight with him and everything. There was a lot I liked about that movie, but when you compare it to the rest of them, it is the weaker Avengers movie. Because, again, like I said, the first one was just to see them on there, and with Loki coming back, and that's the reason why I think get a Fantastic Four. Have Dr. Doom be that Loki for this next series, where he's the one that's constantly in there messing shit up.
Yeah. And the one thing, well, I agree with you on Age of Ultron. It has its moments and stuff, and Ultron was awesome. David Spader was awesome. It's David Spader, right? James Spader? Yeah. God, it's long. I've been up since 5:30. All right, just cut me a break. But, some of that was awesome. But when you just look at the comics, like, Ultron was like this huge, menacing end of all mankind type thing. I don't think they really captured that in the movie, and I think they were trying too many, like, because Ultron was basically the first movie they talked about the Infinity Stones.
They were setting up
they were sort of like Iron Man 2, where they were setting up the MCU in Iron Man 2. And I recently went back and rewatched Iron Man 2 this past week. I'm like, I wonder, with all of our knowledge now, if Iron Man 2 holds up. It's actually a better watch now.
It is.
Because you go back and go, oh man, this is where Black Widow and
I actually
Shield.
went back and rewatched it after Infinity War and thought that.
Yeah.
that it was a better because you know so much more now.
Yeah, so. and that's why I think there are moments in Ultron, because when Thor talks about, like, at the end of Ultron, he's like, someone's playing a game with us with these stones. There's no coincidence that all these stones are just showing up now. So there are moments in Ultron for sure.
And that's the reason why I think I need to rewatch Dark World again and rewatch.
Ooh, that's a hard one to rewatch.
I know, but that one and Iron Man 3, rewatch both of them. But Iron Man 3 doesn't contain an Infinity Stone, so
no, it doesn't contain anything. They completely retconned that entire movie. It's like, I'm gonna have the surgery. Next movie, he has it back. It's like,
that's because, come on, really. The Mandarin. It would have been a better movie if they would have.
They retconned that too, because if you watch the Blu-ray, hail the king or leader, whatever the fuck it is. So they retconned that too. I love Shane Black. I love his movies. I think he's an excellent writer.
Really? Did you like The Predator?
I refuse to see that shit. The trailer put me in the hospital. But yeah. So okay, I sort of like Shane Black, but yeah, Iron Man 3 didn't work. Okay, so Julio Rodriguez comes in with a super chat, and he writes, I think everybody likes Spider-Man 2 because it emphasizes Peter's responsibility. I'll talk about that in a second. That's why I think Homecoming was terrible. Well, at least we can agree on that, because there was no sense of responsibility from Peter. I absolutely agree with your second half. The problem with Spider-Man 2, and I say this all the time, and I don't know how you feel about it, but it's like, hey, I don't want to be fat. I'm still fat. He's like, I don't want to be Spider-Man. And he loses his powers. He can't see. It's like, that's not how it works. You can't do that. Like, I understand what Sam Raimi was trying to do, that, like, subconsciously he doesn't want to be Spider-Man, so he loses. But it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't.
It's a movie. I can do
It's a nitpick, mind you. I only like bringing it up when there's like real hardcore Spider-Man 2 fans around, so I can kind of like argue with them. But I really don't care that much either way.
Like Joel?
Yeah. Oh, he loves Spider-Man 3. I love bringing that up. But I agree 100% with you with Homecoming and his responsibility. It was never brought up in that movie. Never brought up. You had Tony go, if you're nothing with the suit, you're nothing without the suit, or some shit like that. But there was no sense of, dude, this is your responsibility. You know, even the Russo brothers, when they first introduced him in Civil War, I always go back to that scene with Tony's like, well, why do you do this? And he's like, well, when you have the powers to do stuff and you don't do it, and bad things happen, that's on you. You know, that's basically great power. You know.
But I thought about this actually today. I understand now why Tony was in Homecoming more, because of Infinity War and Endgame now.
Plus, they got to push them fucking ticket sales for Sony.
Oh, I know, but I mean, it's so he builds that relationship.
Yeah.
And I mean,
but okay, yes, I understand that, and I don't have a problem with Tony, because we're both fans of the '90s Spider-Man cartoon. Tony was in that, you know. But the problem I had was
he was Junior.
He was Junior Iron Man. Peter's suit did not start talking until like 3 years ago in the comics. When Peter ran his own damn industry, Parker Industry, right? Then he started coming out with this tech and this suit with talking shit. It's like, Peter Parker is supposed to be a smart kid that built his web shooters, that came up with all this stuff. Something Amazing Spider-Man did really well with Andrew Garfield in the garage and Tinker and shit. Yeah, Tobey Maguire you never even seen Tobey Maguire do that.
No, they did the cheap way out.
Organic web shooters. So you never got the sense that Peter was using his brain or anything. It was like Tony was there doing everything. The AI in the suit was doing everything for him.
Oh, and that reminds me, how did you feel about that in Endgame? Where he
instant kill,
because people are talking about Spider-Man's killing.
I didn't bother me. It was either he's gonna kill them or they're gonna kill him. Like, what choice does he have?
I just was seeing where somebody brought that up.
I seen the same thing. In fact, Comic Book Cast, his YouTube channel, he brought it up. I didn't click on the video, so I don't know what his opinion is on it.
I laughed when he
so did
I. In the movie. I was like,
it was a callback to Homecoming, so I was like, all right, that's cool. He finally used it for something, but. I mean, it was cannon fodder anyway. It wasn't like he was doing it to like real people in a bank or something. Yeah, so
it wasn't people. It was thing.
But who was that sent that? Julio Rodriguez. Thank you for super chat. I 100% agree with both your statements. Actually, Sean writes, at Robert Storm, do you all have a problem with the time travel rules in the movie and then ultimately the movie breaks their own rules? They did not break their own rules in the movie. So we touched upon this a little bit about 15 minutes ago or so, but basically Bruce Banner says in the movie, because they asked him, like, why don't you just go back and kill Thanos? And he's like, it doesn't work like that. Like, if you go back and kill Thanos, he'll be dead in that timeline, but not our timeline. So it establishes if you go back in time and change anything, it then branches off into an alternate reality. So people are like, well, when Cap goes back, how does he stay in the past and grows old and still ends up in our present? The Russo brothers came out in a statement and said he didn't. He didn't stay in the past to come in our present. And they asked him, so he went another dimension, right? And they're like, yeah. They're like, well, how did that happen? And the Russo brothers looked at each other and kind of smiled like, I don't know. That sounds like a story from another day or for another day. So they told in the interview that they've been setting this up for 3 years. So it's them building the future.
Yeah. They left the door open for Chris Evans to return and to tell that story.
Yep.
I mean, that is just basic. You can't deny that.
You can look at it this way. We don't know at what point, because I seen John Campion and everybody going, this is plot hole, and I agreed. I'm like, yes, this is a huge plot hole. You contradict everything you said at the beginning of the movie. But when the Russo brothers came out and explained it, and if the Russo brothers made 3 movies that all hit over $1 billion. You take their word for whatever they have to say. So I started thinking about, okay, it makes sense. Now, we don't know at what point Cap stayed with Peggy. We know he does. Did he go back to 1970, stay with the 1970 Peggy? Did he go back even further? We don't know that. And we do know when he does, in that reality, Tony, Black Widow, everybody's alive at that point. He can warn them about Thanos. They can fix everything. And then we don't know what kind of technology Tony can then build for Cap to come back, to give the shield to Sam.
Especially like how he mentioned at the beginning of that movie, I warned you guys about this, about this coming and all that. He build all that, and Cap be like, well, you're right. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Build it.
Yep.
That kind of stuff. But again, they left the door open for Chris Evans. If they want to return, they can bring in Secret Wars. They can bring in Secret Invasion. They got all kinds of different ways and different things that they can do now. Because I don't think this is going to be the last time we see Captain America. This isn't going to be the last time we're going to see Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
Nope.
I believe that they'll do an AI thing with him for upcoming.
I believe that too.
So
we're definitely. I would almost bet money in Vegas that we are going to get AI Tony for sure. I think that's 100% guaranteed because as far as I know, Tony still kind of wants to be in the MCU, but he doesn't want the schedule of filming and stuff. So he can come in like Bradley Cooper, film his lines, and go home. Whereas Chris Evans wanted to go direct his own stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, because you can have him do exactly like the Jarvis,
yep.
where he's just a voice. Where you can have him just do voicing, or you can have him where he's an actual hologram. They showed that at the end of this Endgame.
Yep.
That he could be a hologram.
And remember, guys, we don't know how many recordings he's done. Because he was recording all on Nebula's ship, so he could have done a lot of recordings, and we can see those. He'll be back in a cameo, definitely. Be sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him in Far From Home.
And like I stated before, I think it was before we started the live chat, is I think what they'll do is if they're going to introduce another Iron Man, it's going to be Ironheart.
Yes, I agree with that. It's not going to be Harley. No one cares about that fucking movie. But they can definitely, because this is what I see happening. Because they always think way in advance. I think at the end of Phase 5 or 6, whatever the next big Endgame movie's going to be, we're going to see Chris Evans and everybody come back.
Oh, for the next...
For the next big event. I'm not talking about the next Avengers.
Which is right now, you're hoping Galactus.
I've been preaching Galactus.
With how far that would be out, I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't think... You wanted Galactus to be that showed up at the end of this movie. But you think about it, you did not see Thanos until end of Avengers.
True.
So, I can see at the next end of the Avengers movie...
Like Avengers 5?
Avengers 5... Then you show something like that with Galactus and Silver Surfer coming. I think what you're wanting is going to happen then.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think I'm still thinking, like I said, I would like to see Doctor Doom as that kind of like Loki villain throughout the series. I can see him being the main villain of Avengers 5. And then you have like Avengers, like how Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Then you have like Kang, the Conqueror. Because he's a descendant of Reed Richards and all that, if you know the character.
Very little.
I know very little, only from what I read on like Wikipedia and stuff. Because after this, I was kind of like, who's the next big guy?
Yeah.
But that, with him, it involves a lot of time travel. Which would set up a lot of characters coming back for the final one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just... hoping, you know.
Yeah, I think the next Avengers is going to be really interesting in where they go with that one, and then that'll start giving us more ideas of where they're going to go. Because with the hint of Namor in Endgame, that can easily bring in mutants because Namor's a mutant now. Like originally Namor wasn't a mutant, but they made him a mutant now. So now they can start introducing mutants if they go that route.
Easter eggs.
Yeah. I think they're going to start setting it up like they did Phase 2 when we were watching Winter Soldier and they mentioned Doctor Strange. I think in a movie they're going to randomly mention Reed Richards or something. And then they might even mention Doom or something, you know, like
I would
Victor
like
Von
to see
Doom.
like them bring the Fantastic Four in. And then right at the end of Fantastic Four, that would be the one that would lead into Avengers. Kind of like, in a ways, what Thor, the first Thor had Loki.
Yeah.
Right? The movie that came out after that was Captain America, which was also setting up Avengers. But it was the thing is, that one was taking place back then.
Yeah.
The only part that had today, you know, or at that time, that day, was at the end of the movie when he woke up.
Yeah.
But really, Thor was the last one going into the first Avengers. Guess what? Loki was the villain.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of wanting to see with this, is where Fantastic Four, they battle Doom. Doom ends up being in...
Yeah, I heard this is a fan theory, and I kind of like what they were doing with it. There's a fan theory going on that like people are like, well, if Fantastic Four is in the MCU, where have they been this entire time? And one person came up with a fan theory to where they could have been in the negative zone the whole time. That's the name of it, the negative zone, right?
I don't know.
They got trapped there. That's why they haven't been in the MCU this whole time. And after the events of Endgame, they were let out somehow. And because they recently did that in the comics because you know Marvel stopped printing the hold on one second, Doshi. Marvel stopped printing Fantastic Four comics because they didn't own the rights no more, so they were like, fuck you, we're not going to print the comics. And then when they got the rights back, they started printing them again. And in the first issue was they were trapped in a negative zone for years.
And the thing is, that would work so great where like it shows like the past of what's going, you know, right before the whole Endgame thing or Infinity War happened, them going to space or whatever.
Yeah.
And they get caught in this negative zone where they get caught with and get the powers and everything. And then they come back. Yeah, it would explain everything. It would.
It would. Doshi comes in with a super chat. Endgame is my favorite number one MCU film. Right now, it's my current number one film. If you want to know what his number one film is, you can go over to his YouTube channel right now. CG Ace 1. He put out his 22 MCU ranked video today. I will have the link in the description. Once the live stream is over with and it's put on YouTube, I will have the link to his channel, or you can just go over to his channel right now.
Falcons, yep.
Falcons, no. Matty Ice, melted. I'm a Buffalo fan. I can't talk about nobody. Okay, we're just awful. I'm not even gonna mention it.
No, this is a combo channel, not football channel. We can go off on that.
I remember when I first did YouTube. The first year I was actually into YouTube, I started doing football views. I didn't get no.
By the way, I do want to sit here and state this too. The man right here got 20,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for doing that for him. What is so special about that is me and him 12 years ago in 2007. Right after Spider-Man 3, I know that for sure.
Yep.
We were sitting here talking about, we would get together and we'd talk about getting together and doing a YouTube, just bantering back and forth about movies, talking about it, and to be here for his 20,000, you know, after 20,000 subscribers, he's been doing it since then. Yeah. Unfortunately,
how long ago was that?
That was in 2007 when we talked about it. You started in 08.
Yeah.
And I started mine around the same time, but I ended up having to get off because wife, kids, family, work.
Yeah.
But I recently came back and started doing them again and everything. But that's the reason why, to me, being here and everything is special, because the man has made. You guys are here for him. 20,000 people.
But yeah, I mean, I told this story a bunch of times because people ask me, like, well, how'd you get into YouTube? I'm like, well, I had this buddy of mine, and we kept talking about, like, fanboy rant, where we're just going to rant about shit. Yep. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck, I'm just going to do one on World of Warcraft. And
World of Warcraft.
And then that channel ended up getting copyrighted.
Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana. I remember Hannah Montana thongs, condoms.
Yeah.
It was just, all right, well, let's get back to these super chats. But yeah, it's... Long journey. It's poetic that he's here for the 20th live because this was originally going to be the 20th subscriber live discussion, but with Endgame breaking a record, I figured that would be a better top topic. So Doshi comes in with super chat. We already got with that. Endgame is number 1. Once again, you guys can go over to his YouTube channel. So go over to his channel, CG Ace 1. Just like it's spelled or said, spelled. Just you go ahead.
By the way, you're doing fine. I just wanted to say the Greg character that he talks about so much in his DC videos.
Yeah,
that is the character I play.
Yeah.
If you check out my DC videos from like last year, like the Aquaman, I think First Look was one of them.
Yeah.
Some of those I do the Greg skin. In those.
Yeah.
So we will have some Greg coming up here soon in some of his future videos.
Possibly Monday. Just letting you know, when that box office report comes, you're gonna see David P. Dumbass and Greg. I'm just telling you that's a fact. But yes, I totally forgot to mention that he plays Greg. So when I'm on the phone with Greg, that's who I'm talking to. So yes, but for real, go over to his channel and check it out. We go to Caleb, who wrote "Who Dat?" I don't know who that, Caleb. Falcon. Sorry. I don't know that crappy lingo. I'm a Buffalo fan. I know worse lingo. Walter comes in. When Fat Thor left a beer can in 2013, did he create a new timeline? Yes, he actually did. He actually did.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Whatever is changed in that timeline, it branches off a new timeline. I think what people got confused with the time thing was when the Ancient Ones, like, well, if you take the Infinity Stone, it branches off. Like, yeah, that's true, but everything... Basically, when Hawkeye first went back and took the glove, the baseball glove, that created an alternate timeline, too. So...
And who knows how many Ant-Man trains...
Oh, yeah.
When he kept going back and coming back as a baby.
That shit was hilarious. So, yes, Walter, Fat Thor created another timeline with the fucking...
With a beer. Somebody tripped on that beer.
Doshi writes, I'm fighting cancer. So glad I saw Endgame.
Oh, man.
Dude.
I feel bad for you, man.
Man,
really
dude, you really brought down my mood, man.
I'm very happy that you got to see it and everything. I mean, speaking from the fact that, I lost my father the same year Spider-Man 3 came out in 2007 and everything, I wish he was here today to see
how they
all
came,
these comic book movies, and to see these movies the way they are on the screen now. I mean, to see all the characters.
Yeah.
Like I said, how I felt in the first Avengers movie.
Yep.
To see like how Infinity War was. I mean, that's just a fantastic movie. And because my dad was a huge Spider-Man fan too, but he was also a Superman fan.
You think your dad would like Homecoming?
My dad was a big Spider-Man fan. He
sort of like me with Dragon Ball Evolution. Doesn't matter. Dragon Ball, I like it.
It's just like how your brother is with Sonic. He is such a huge Sonic fan. That movie could be huge bad.
It's like, it ain't that bad.
Like Alvin and the Chipmunks bad.
Yeah.
He will still love it. Masters of the Universe. I'm a huge fan of Masters of the Universe.
Same here.
That movie is bad, but it is one of my favorites of all time because it's something special to me.
Yep. I agree with you. So Doshi, thank you so much for Super Chat. Listen, buddy. I don't know what kind of cancer you're fighting. I hope you're putting up a good fight. Message me on Twitter. I want to talk to you personally. At RobertStorms84. Message me on Twitter. I want to talk to you personally, okay? Just message me anytime. I want to get with you. I want to chat with you, buddy. Keep fighting a good fight. Julio Rodriguez writes in, never forgot the hate you got from Dragon Ball Evolution back in the day.
I never...
Dude, still get shit from that. Like
I remember the people just making videos of you constantly.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because Adam's first video on YouTube was defending me on Dragon Ball Evolution. He's like, look, that movie sucks. We all think it sucks, but this fucking guy likes for some reason, so leave him alone. But look, guys, I say it. The movie's not good. I think I watched it maybe 3 years ago. I rewatched it. It's not good. It's funny as hell. But you know that thing where they say you drink the Kool-Aid? That's what I was doing.
But the thing is, you are a Dragon Ball fan. You have been waiting for a live-action Dragon Ball, just like how your brother's been waiting for Sonic.
I don't know I don't know what your feeling is about the Mario movie, but as a kid, the movie wasn't good. But I was like, well, this is all I'm gonna get, so I'm gonna fucking like what I get. Like, it's not good, but you know.
But then again,
I still can find some things I like about that movie, but Dragon Ball Evolution it's not good. I decide to like or enjoy the stuff I like, which is very little, than sit on the hate on it. And I don't know. I don't care. I can't defend it.
Well, the thing is, you like crappy movies. I know that you do like some crappy movies, but you know what? You like them. That is your personal opinion on. You know that they're bad.
Well,
just like I know that there's movies that are bad. Because I remember when Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen came out. Here's another one of those flashbacks for us here.
Fuck that movie, man.
Because I made a video saying, "Oh, I love this movie. This movie was awesome." And you made a video response to
Did I?
Yes, you did.
It sounds like something I would do.
Man, buddy, I love you, but what the fuck are you thinking?
Well, the one thing I learned over the years of, I don't review movies anymore, but back when I was reviewing movies and having friends that are actually professional critics now, I learned to separate movies I like with movies I think are good. It's like yes, I like Drive Angry. I like Drive Angry. Drive Angry is a shitty movie, you know. So like
that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, you can like bad movies, and to you they might be good. But
that is true.
But I learned how to break down film with cinematography, script, performances, and so on. So technically, Dragon Ball Evolution is a fucking horrible movie, but I still like it as a guilty pleasure. Same thing with Drive Angry. There's a bunch. Like, I like the Twilight movies. I mean, I don't watch them every fucking day, but like I go back and I watch them every now and then for fun. I'm not helping my case. Let's go to the next one.
You're not.
Okay.
Right. I mean, granted, I see now. Yes, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen is fucking trash. But
if it makes you feel better, it's great compared to the last two we got. Besides Bumblebee, I like Bumblebee.
That is true. Bumblebee is fantastic.
I love Bumblebee.
Is fantastic. But yeah, that reminded me because that was around the same. That was the same year Dragon Ball Evolution came out.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was 2009, and you gave me so much shit because what it was is at the same time people were comparing because it made money.
Yeah,
it was it came out it. Busted records and stuff like that at the time, and there were some people that were comparing it to The Dark Knight. Yeah, that it was better than The Dark Knight, and you were like, The Dark Knight is a fucking masterpiece.
And I came completely different take on that one. I still think Dark Knight's a good movie. I think it's blown way out of proportion.
It's a great movie, but I disagree where you think Batman Begins is better than that.
I love Batman Begins,
but I like Dark Knight better than Batman Begins. Dark Knight Rises is a fucking garbage movie.
No, I actually like Dark Knight Rises. I actually rank them Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, and Dark Knight at the bottom.
Really? Because somebody bought me the Dark Knight Rises the year it came out on Blu-ray. That damn thing stayed sealed till I just recently added it to my digital collection. That's how much I do not like that movie.
I like the performances in that movie.
They do have good performances, but to me, it was a complete step down.
It was sloppy. Like, how the hell do you hit a guy with a hammer in his back and he's automatically cured? That's sloppy. How does he manage to get out of that hole? How he manages to get from that hole to Gotham in like 5 minutes? Yes, it's sloppy. But I think there's a lot of problems with Dark Knight that people just don't want to acknowledge. Because that movie gets a little messy in certain spots, too.
Well, people overrate that movie.
Yeah.
It is way
because of Heath Ledger.
And he did a fantastic, performance, but I just think I always thought that movie was overrated.
Yeah. I remember when it first came out, I was telling everybody at work, I'm like, man, you gotta go see Dark Knight, man, fucking Heath Ledger's Joker. And I'm like, man, I'm just tired of people talking about fucking Heath Ledger. And I swear to God, if Joaquin Phoenix doesn't get nominated, it proves that Heath Ledger only got nominated because he fucking died. The man croaked.
That was another movie that we talked about back in the
Superman
day.
Returns?
Superman Returns.
Fuck yeah.
That was a video, because that was one of your very first videos.
Yeah.
Where you were ranting about that damn movie, about him. Oh, I'm going to go fight a mountain.
Yeah. Fucking mountain. The fucking mountain almost kills him, man. Fucking mountain kills him.
Oh, man.
I don't like that movie. Even now, I can't go back and rewatch that movie.
I can't watch it.
I think...
Did you go watch Superman 2?
No, I wanted to.
Seen where you was
talking about it.
Yes.
I wanted to. It just after I got done streaming, I went right to bed. But I think this weekend when I'm off, I'm probably gonna sit down and watch Superman 2.
I actually put on Man of Steel yesterday.
Did you?
Yes, because I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I watched Man of Steel. But the thing is, once it gets past the part where Kevin Costner dies, where Jonathan Kent dies, I turn it off.
Well,
because it's a great, to me, I love the movie till that part because I thought Kevin Costner delivered a great performance. Jonathan Kent. And it just reminds me of my dad. So it just, I love it all the way up to that point. But it's like once the aliens once Zod and them get
it turns into a Transformers movie after that.
I'm not a fan of it. At that point.
And that was one of my biggest criticisms with the movie was like right after Kevin Costner dies and Zod comes, it's just straight fighting for the next hour.
Yeah.
And it's just like blowing up this, blowing up that. I'm like, it's one step.
That's why I only watched it up to that point, because after that point I was like, I looked at my wife. I was like, "Can you turn it off now?" Yeah, it's
like I remember. I tried to rewatch it. I try to rewatch all of them like maybe once a year, and I fell asleep when the fighting started. Woke up and the fighting was still going on. I was like, "Motherfucker!" I'm telling you, that movie is 2 titties away from a Michael Bay film. I'm telling you guys.
But yeah, you still like it, and you still watch it.
I still like it because the stuff that I like overpowers the negative in it. I like Henry Cavill's Superman. I think he's the best since Christopher Reeves. I love the Hans Zimmer score. I love Kevin Costner. I loved Russell Crowe.
Diane Lane is his mom.
Yeah, and I love I love Michael Shannon as Zod. And I like the special effects. I like everything in it. I just think they got carried away with the goddamn destruction, man. It's like, Jesus, we get it. You're destroying everything.
Ryan Leonard, I don't think the Hulk will be back in the MCU. It might be like how Cap is. Mark Ruffalo can come back, but I think
they left it open where he can if he wants to come back. And if they do use him, it's gonna be very rarely, and it's going to be like the Ragnarok stuff, you know?
Because I think what they did was how they did his character.
Yeah.
If they bring him back, it's because of something that they're doing as far as like the time travel or they need a scientist, because that's who they look to.
Yeah. But
especially with Tony now gone.
Very, very true. But don't forget.
Shuri. And stuff.
We got Shuri. And they can bring in Hank Pym. Or not Hank Pym. Well, they got Hank Pym, too. Hank Pym. But they also got Hank McCoy coming now. And Reed Richards. That they can bring in at any time. Yeah. So, I mean, I think they definitely opened the door for Hulk to return. But I think it's going to be in a very minimum role if they do.
Mark Ruffalo said I think he was done
as well. I mean, dude, how much fucking motion cap do you want to do? That gets fucking boring after a while.
Especially how he had to do it in this one.
Yeah. So, and I think they're going to start... I would love to see them introduce She-Hulk as the next Hulk. Yeah, so that way they can do the A-Force movie. I would like to see that.
Yeah, I think She-Hulk would be nice. I mean, granted, we would love to see a Planet Hulk movie, but...
Ragnarok was the closest we were going to get to that.
Yeah, it is going to be close.
But it wasn't... I mean, they got the Gladiator stuff right, but it didn't get to the essence of the Hulk's, wife and how Tony was kind of involved with her dying and... what was that, World War Hulk when they fought? Yeah, that was crazy. But, yeah, they ain't going to do that in this movie. No. Oh, we got a super chat coming in from Daniel Angel. Have you guys seen Snowpiercer with Chris Evans? If not, please do. I have it, but it's not open. I bought it like 5 years ago. It was one of those Black Friday movies I just never opened. I got a whole thing of it. So
he sees a lot more movies because he's a bigger movie buff than I am. Me, I'll see only the main type the main releases and stuff like that.
Well, back when I had Movie Pass, I was going to the movie twice a week. I was watching anything. I didn't give a fuck what it was. Since I have to start paying for my movies again, I'm very selected what I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm very selected on what I go see now. I still like going to see smaller movies, but Adam raves about Snowpiercer, and I want to watch it. I heard it's based off a comic property, actually.
Go check that out.
Yeah, it's just I haven't. It's one of those movies. If I'm not paying attention, then oh, dude, man, you're killing me. Well, I'm not killing you as much as. Time out. I don't want to say what I just said because that was insensitive. Dude, you're killing me. You gotta message me on Twitter so I can talk to you, because don't listen to the doctors. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. I know people that have stage 4. My aunt had stage 4 lung cancer and she beat it. Okay, there's a way. There's a way to do it. Just message me. I'll talk to you one-on-one, man. But don't listen to the doctors. If you really want to beat it, there's a way to beat it. So that's all I'm gonna say, Doshi. But keep that chin up. Just keep the chin up, man. Don't let it get you down. So I think we need to start wrapping it up here because we got to go film some Greg stuff, and we're at an hour and a half now.
Wow, damn.
Yeah,
really?
We got 200 people watching, so that's why I kept it going. But we'll take a couple more questions if you guys want to send them in. We'll take like 2, maybe 3 more questions top, and then we got to wrap it up because we got to film some Greg stuff for Monday's video and some future videos. So yeah, but the Professor Hulk didn't punch anyone. He punched that car.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I was love that in the movie. He's like, rawr.
By the way, no, we're not looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home.
I honestly ain't. I'm honestly.
I'm a big Spider-Man. We're both big Spider-Man fans, but we're both not looking forward.
I'm not looking forward to that movie whatsoever. Dragon Lord comes in. Should DC anime directors take a lead in DCEU?
You watched the
I watch all the DC animated movies. It depends if they have a resume in filmography or just animation. Because believe it or not, it does matter. But then Phil Lord and Chris Miller directed the Lego movie, and they do 21 Jump Street and stuff. So it's possible. What I would like to see is not the directors of the animated films, but the script writers. Because they have like a 12 arc universe in the animated films that's all connected, and it's not as good as the MCU, but it's the same type of idea. Why Walter Hamada and DC cannot figure out to do that is beyond me. It's like these people are fucking retarded. You have comic book source material, you have animated movies, and let's not forget, Marvel don't have all these animated movies. They tried it like a few years back, like 10 years back. They tried like the Planet Hulk animated movie, the Duck Train, but it was not like what DC does. And what Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers do really well is they take story arcs from the comics and adapt it to the movies, like Age of Ultron. But instead of Hank Pym, it was Tony. Like they take it and they change it to fit their universe.
What they need, yeah.
Yeah, but DC's not doing that like at all.
DC's a damn mess.
Like at all. Like I love Wonder Woman, but that Wonder Woman story wasn't based on no really like Wonder Woman arc. They kind of did their own thing with her mythology. Same thing with Shazam. The Shazam, that movie was just fucking sloppy. It's just like they did their own thing. I think the closest one was probably Aquaman. Still wasn't anything like any Superman arc. We know Batman v Superman was supposed to be The Dark Knight Returns, but they completely botched that shit. Yes, Lee Smith. Doshi, fight it good, man. Fight it good. All right, we're going to take one more, and we're going to call it. We're going to one more call so you guys can send it in, and we'll do one more, and we're going to call it. But until Warner Brothers gets a Kevin Feige over there that can say, this is our game plan, we're not changing this for nothing. Because don't forget, this month, Ezra Miller's contract's up this month.
Thank God.
That movie don't start filming by the end of this month, there is not going to be no Flash movie.
And the thing is, that is a good way to retcon everything that they have done.
Yep.
Is to just do a Flashpoint movie.
And no Ben Affleck, no Henry Cavill no more. No problem. Flashpoint everything. You fix it all. But you can't even fucking like they rather greenlight Birds of Prey, which by the way I'm looking forward to because I like my girls. Birds of Prey, a Joker movie that's not even in the universe, but you can't get a Flash movie? They announced that movie like 6-7 years ago.
And we haven't heard shit about Green Lantern Corps.
No. Nothing.
No, nothing.
We heard that Jeff Johns was gonna help write it, and I haven't heard nothing about that in like 2 years. It's been exactly 2 years since Matt Reeves came on to do the Batman trilogy, and we haven't heard anything about. We don't even have a Batman. So until they get someone like Kevin Feige that's gonna come in and be like, this is the chart, this is our game plan from point A to point B, we're not changing shit.
Well, it's sad that the CW, on a so much smaller budget, has a better
connected universe.
Universe.
Yep.
With everything, because with everything that's coming to that next year, I know you don't watch it until
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah,
I watched a crossover special this year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. And they showed a hint video in a future Flash
Smallville.
No, they in later Flash episode they actually showed a scene where he's doing a video to his daughter. I won't tell you because I'll just tell you that much at least because I know you haven't watched it yet. But they are hinting so much at it. Arrow ends next year, so you can kind of know.
Yeah, 10 episodes next year.
You know that he's more likely
gonna die
in that.
Yeah.
So, but it's so sad that they have a better connected universe.
They do.
Than the damn movies do.
Yep. And well, the reason why, and this is why I think, because people get movies, they got to understand movies and television are two different things. Television has, almost every episode has a different director, but you have a showrunner that comes up with the overall story and be like, this is what we're doing this season. You guys write the scripts for every episode. That's why Game of Thrones did. That's what.
And that's why you have the filler episodes where, hey, this do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But include some of this story arc into your
like the episodes Kevin Smith comes in and directs a couple episodes like once a year, right? So he's kind of doing the filler episodes, but he has like a little connective tissue. But Greg Berlanti is the showrunner for the CW shows. He's basically the Kevin Feige of the CW shows, and that's what people don't understand. Kevin Feige, he's a producer, but he's acting like a showrunner. Yeah. He's like, these are our 22 episode movies that we're doing. And DC's looking at their universe like movies and not television shows. And that's the reason why each Marvel movie makes more and more money, because everybody wants to see what's going to happen in the next episode. Who would have thought, if I would have went back to when I first met you, back when we were talking about doing Fanboy Rant, and I told you Captain Marvel is going to make more money than Wonder Woman, neither one of us would.
In the first place, I'd ask, who the fuck is Captain Marvel?
Right?
I'm one of those, a lot of times when he says the average person doesn't know who this fucking person is, I'm one of those. I know certain parts of the comic book world. I'm mostly a Spider-Man guy. I really don't know nothing about fucking, a lot of them. But I didn't know who the fuck Captain Marvel was when they announced it. I sure as hell didn't know who the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy were.
Right. I'm in the comic book space and I didn't know who the fuck the Guardians of the Galaxy were. And that's my point, right? You're a Spider-Man fan, so you read a lot of comic books back when you were younger, right? Yeah. And you didn't really know who Captain Marvel was. Imagine the average person on the street.
Exactly.
And you can go to an average person and they know who Wonder Woman is.
Yeah.
But
because
it's a marquee name. Yeah. Right? But since the MCU has built this television series, it's able to do that and make money, and that's what Warner Brothers don't understand. They don't understand. So we're going to take this last super chat, then we're going to call it. Robbie writes, been a fan of your work for 8 months. Keep it up. Thank you so much. That means you probably subscribed around Black Panther time. You're one of them guys. But hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your support. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap this up because we got to go film some stuff. So I want to take this time to thank each and every one of you guys for coming out, watching the stream, donating you Super Chat. Once again, go over to his channel. It's CGAce1 on YouTube. You guys can check out his videos. He uploaded his ranking of the MCU movies today. You guys can go check that out. Be sure to subscribe. And with that, until next time, I am Robert Storm. This is CGA. And that's our opinion.